very good evening. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. I'm Mubina Kapasi. This is our very special Friday segment where we bring on board some remarkable women making a difference to the world and, of course, acing it when it comes to their careers. So today on the show, we are going to discuss a very important topic that many women do find it sometimes difficult to balance. There's an astonishing report which mentions that 50% of women tend to leave their careers post-motherhood. But there are as well some spectacular women who do manage to, manage both the roles in life, motherhood as well as careers with elan. How do they do so? How difficult was it earlier? Has the path become easier now? Is what we'll be discussing. And we'll also be learning from the rich experience of these women on how they tread this difficult path and had that balance in life. So it takes me great pleasure now to introduce on the show these ladies. First up, Manisha Girotra, the CEO of Moelis India. She is a powerhouse in banking with a rich experience of more than 25 years. And now, of course, she was with UBS. Now she has carved her own path. She's become the CEO of Moelis India. Manisha, it's a pleasure having you with us today on ET Now. Next up, here's a woman who motherhood helped her reinvent her career. She was in corporate India, but post-motherhood, I guess the entrepreneurial bug as well struck her. And now she is the founder of Almitra Tattva. Very interesting business, which we will talk about in a bit from now. And finally, Manjula Dharmalingam, the founder of a platform that helps women get back to their career path post-motherhood, hersecondinnings.com. Manjula, welcome on the show and welcome to all three of you. Thank you so much for taking our time on today's episode of The Money Show. So Manisha, let me start off with you first. Your story is a very interesting one. It's something that's very inspiring as well, for women all around the world. There's often this saying, right, that sometimes women can't have it all. But I think your rich experience and your rich path in the world of banking, the fact that you have a daughter as well, and you've got this wonderful family as well with you. You're one of those few examples that show that women can have it all. Manisha, how much would you agree with this statement, though, or how many sacrifices, compromises did you end up making in this path of yours over the last 30 odd years?
So thanks for having me on the show. And as you said, I think it's very difficult for women to work and have children and, basically have the entire ecosystem that comes with a marriage in terms of just in India, as they say famously, you don't marry a partner, you marry a whole family. So all of that does, take a huge toll on a working woman. I think I've been lucky to have had my share of both, a great career as well as a family and a daughter, as you said. Hugely challenging, especially when I had my daughter, because, things like paternity leave, of course, didn't exist. And, maternity leave was also just 3 months, after which you pretty much had to get onto the road. I remember 3.5 months into my having my daughter, Tara, I had to take her with me to Bangalore. I had to fly her in with a nanny, tuck her away into a hotel room while I went and pitched for a piece of business. So I think it was very challenging. I've taken it a step at a time. Needless to say, through all of this journey, you need a supportive spouse. I think I had that in my husband. He comes from a family of working women, and I think that helped because he sort of always saw women work and he was very supportive through it. As you said, I think the one thing that worked for me more than anything else was the fact that my family was supportive. My mother, my mother-in-law, they were always there in the initial years to help. So I think a day at a time, I wouldn't take, it worked out. I wouldn't take away from the fact that it had enormous challenges, especially when your child is unwell and you're taking a flight out to New York, or, when there's something pressing at work and, you need to go for that parent-teacher meeting. It's really hard, but look, here I am 28 years from now and still working. And my daughter's 17 and very independent. So I guess somewhere it worked out fine.
Well, like I said, you're an inspiration really for all the young women out there who may be wondering how they're going to cope up with the challenge of, not just motherhood, but marriage as well. Like you mentioned, in India, marriage is an institution which involves not just the husband and wife, but, both sides of the family. And I think your story as well tells other women that, look, you're not alone. We've seen women pull off all kinds of miraculous tasks, especially when they're working moms. So hats off to you, really, Manisha. Anamika, your story is equally interesting. You as well started off with, a career in corporate India. But then post-motherhood, you pivoted to having your own business. So tell us what transpired, what went by, what prompted you, to sort of reinvent your career post-motherhood.
So yes, corporate world was something which gave me a lot of comfort, I would say that. And I was actually, so comfortable in my job that I always feel that if I was never pushed out of my job, I wouldn't have been able to start off of my own, because you really become so used to that, that security of your monthly check coming in every month. So I would always say that entrepreneurship is something which is in you, and it like, you're born with it sometimes. But yes, my life had taken a turn and I was doing a stable job until the time the ugly part of the corporate world hit me, wherein I was actually pushed out of the job after my maternity. When I resumed back, I always say that when I resumed back and I came back on my table did not look the same, nor did the job on my table. And, you see these uncomfortable faces who just do not look in your eye and cannot say that, you are supposed to leave probably. And the reason being just that they assume that you are not the primary owner of the primary earner of the house. They assume that, as it is, you will go for a sabbatical because you have an infant to breastfeed. But that's the most vulnerable time of your life. And though, and you hear stories about it, you never feel that it is going to happen to you any day. And me being also in HR, I had heard these stories, but I was not believing what was happening. So within a week of my resuming back from maternity, I was asked to leave without a reason given, and only on the assumptions that I will be, till they believe, right? At times I speak to my old colleagues and they still feel that, you left because you had to take care or tend to your infant. And that's the sweet pill that they take and go off to sleep probably. So yes, that pushed me. And I truly believe that your creative enzymes are so high when you are becoming a mother. And that's my belief, because my mind was so creative at that time. Certain things that I had forgotten in my past was like coming back, and I was truly creative at that time. And that's what actually pushed me into my business. And I really started off with a Facebook page. And today we are exporting in 54 countries. Just a matter of four years and some, 4.5 years. But yes, it was quite a path. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, I think, Anamika, the fact that you launched Almitra Tattva right after, this whole switch up and this reshuffle happened at your job is testament to the fact that, yes, post-motherhood, your creative enzymes and creative juices really start to flow. So I think that in itself is, a great testament, Anamika. But, Manjula, coming to you, as we heard from the experiences of both Manisha as well as Anamika, the one thing is clear, that and especially maybe a couple of years ago, that mindset was that, either the woman will, perhaps leave after motherhood, or they don't expect the woman to come back to their career path, or it just becomes very difficult. They'll expect sometimes, the woman to really handle both without letting the office ever know about it. Do you think, Manjula, that now perhaps the mindset has sort of changed?
Absolutely. We are seeing the trend changing. And before even talking about the trend, early also, there is an example where we are seeing in front of us both Monica and Anamika with us, where we are able to see them. They are the role models, right? Just to see there is a mindset. If you have a mindset, regardless of any barriers, we are able to just go up and then reach our goal. So that's the one thing I just would like to mention. But post-pandemic, we do see, earlier we see the trend where in IT, where they were welcoming the women, work from home, etc., was very free. But the pandemic made every industry to just look for that work from home becomes a norm. Except that where there is a retail and where they have to just go and then meet that, there is no other way. Even there, the people are just trending to looking for how do we have a alternate days to working day and then different alternatives for the career changes. It's literally a welcoming change post pandemic, I would say. And in fact, just
Manisha,
to give
you have, you're a director on. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so in fact, we are just seeing the trend called gig workers now. Corporates are coming forward to ask for the gig workers, where the concept is they're asking 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours, whatever they are comfortable in, whichever the day. They don't need to just say even a Monday to Friday working day. They can choose the day and then work. So soon we are going to launch this for the corporate, and we are going to see a different huge economy is going to open up for the gig workers as well.
That's wonderful. Manisha, you sit on the board of directors of several big, reputed, some even listed companies in India. Do you think that India Inc. is now getting more welcoming to women post their maternity leaves, for new mothers to, sort of join back?
So I think, look, whether through my board positions or through what I do in terms of investment banking, I think mindsets are changing. I think HR policies are consciously being designed in a way that women who come back from maternity leave are, have, as Manjula mentioned, get, flexi hours, etc., etc. So I think a lot of the policies are changing. I think what the issue in India is twofold. And it really comes from the whole patriarchal society mindset that we have at home, where a woman's primary position, I think, as Anamika said, is that of a caregiver, to the child or the in-laws. And that unfortunately, that attitude I see spilling over at work. So while the policies are there, I think the mindset is changing too slowly. So, if the woman comes back, if she wants to do flexi hours, if she wants to go away in the day for a parent-teacher meeting, it's something that's sort of, not treated seriously or treated with real disregard. So, and I think that's what really defeats a woman each time. I see that the whole mindset is what is the problem. The policies are all there. HR is really trying to work to retain talent. As Manjula said, gig talent, people are trying to get in, gig economy workers, etc. But I think all of this can only change and can give the women the role they deserve if the mindset changes. And that's where I think it's slow. Even in the companies where I'm on the boards, etc., people are actively trying to retain talent. But you see sort of women sort of feeling that, they feel left out. They're not part of that boys club and they want to just quit, even though they come back from after maternity leave is really hard. But I still see them wanting to go away just because they feel this huge challenge in terms of just pressure from their peers, co-workers, bosses and juniors.
That's wonderfully put, actually. And, on a practical basis, yes, there are policies written on paper in black and white, but implementation is difficult. And that is largely on account of the fact that all of us have this preconceived notions in our mind about mindset, about how there are gender defined roles, unfortunately, that till today, even the fact that we are in the year 2020 still prevail in many mindsets, not just back home in the smaller areas, in semi-urban areas, but in cities. And not just that, across some global metros as well across the world. And I think, yes, policies can change, but mindsets can sometimes take, a whole generation as well to change. But yes, I hope that, that pace of change is faster, than the time it took to really get these policies implemented in companies. Ladies, I'd request you to stay on with us. We'll just pause for a very small break on the show and we'll come right back. Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, where we're in conversation with three wonderful ladies, Manisha Girotra, Anamika Sen Gupta and Manjula Dharmalingam. The topic is how these women have managed balance sheets as well as bedtime stories with equal elan. Anamika, let's talk about, how there is often a misconception really that okay, I'm working in India Inc. and you know, I'm sort of, I have to sort of adhere to my boss's timings, my work environment's timings, etc. So that would be difficult. But you know, when I become my own boss, things will be much easier, and hence it'll be easier for me to manage my business and motherhood. I think you would be the best person then to bust this myth of sorts, because I know for a fact that, you know, being an entrepreneur can sometimes be equally challenging, if not more. And then, of course, you have to throw motherhood as well in the mix.
Sure. But I would tell that, like, you know, when I was with the corporate world, for me, entrepreneur journey was a cakewalk. I would say that, because I know that it is very surprising, and we feel that it's more responsibility. Yes, definitely, because it's your own thing. But I would say that as a person, I had the same dedication when I was doing a job as well. So the dedication is something which is already there in you. So that doesn't differ. But what differs is an environment that you create around you. So the corporate world, when I was in the corporate world, I could feel that the environment was not inclusive. So this was my chance now to create an environment around me which was inclusive. That's why I say that it's a cakewalk, because there were things which I could control. So today in my organization, there can be breastfeeding mothers, there can be pet parents, there can be people who need flexibility are also there as a part of my organization. So I think what I learned was inclusivity, because I work with artisans, and I work with rural businesses, and I think this is very important, very important, is to set your own environment, make your own ecosystem, wherein you give the equal amount of respect to everyone, especially women, because 80% of our staff is women, and I think that's what I learned, and that's where the difference was.
I'm so glad, you know, Anamika, that the buck stops with you. You do not want to, you know, sort of, you're trying rather to ensure that other women don't go through what you went through. And I think that's a wonderful thing to do. But yeah, speaking on that whole thing on entrepreneurship versus, you know, having a corporate job, Manisha, would you like to add anything to what, you know, Anamika has just said?
No, I think, you know, I was loving what she said, and it's really commendable what she is doing, because I think I've tried to bring that into the corporate world. I've decided that in the day, I mean, you know, if a male colleague needs to go for a parent-teacher meeting, or if the child is unwell and they need to go to the doctor, it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's something you know, your stresses are basically, you bring them to work and you need to resolve them, and you can't just say, I've left my personal life behind and, you know, I won't think about it. It doesn't work like that. We're all humans made of thought, spirit, and emotions, and, you know, we need to resolve certain things at home, especially if our partner is working. So I've tried very hard to bring that conversation to work, and to, you know, have both male and female colleagues. As Anamika said, if you need to go and nurse your child in the day, that's fine. If you need to go and look after an ailing mother-in-law, that's good too. So I'm glad what she's doing, because obviously I can do it, but I can only do it to to that extent as the structure and the construct of a corporate life will do. But Anamika has a flexibility to, you know, really set her own rules, and I'm glad she's doing it, because that's what you need to get a, you know, more woman talent, and then frankly even more male talent. I mean, today you see this whole conversation around Virat Kohli's paternity leave taking a different dimension, right? There are as many naysayers as the ones who are cheering him on. And I think all of that needs to change. It needs to become a way of life. I think you mentioned earlier that I'm on the boards of company. I'm on the board of a global company where I remember there was, and I'm now no longer on that board, there was this a female colleague on the board, and she had a third kid. And in the middle of in the lunch break, her husband brought her kid, who she was nursing, to the meeting. She went into the other room, nursed the baby, and her husband took the baby back. And I thought that, I mean, that is the kind of evolution I think we need to get to in India, where, you know, bringing up a child is as much a mother or a father's role, and it can be part of the same day job, right? Then when you're doing your office work as well as, you know, looking after your babies. So kudos to Anamika, and I hope we have more women like Anamika who can really lead from the front, that the conversation around women's personal life can be brought to work and resolved at work amicably.
Thank you, Manisha.
No, thank you, Anamika, for doing all this.
Yes, of course. You are the role model now. Thank you for doing that.
You know, it's exactly these kind of stories that really, and the more they happen, they sort of tend to normalize the entire rhetoric, right? It's perfectly normal. It's high time we sort of bring the fact that it is normal to step out of the middle of the day, because there's an emergency at the child's school, or there's this urgent PTA meeting, or the mother has to breastfeed, or whatever it is. The more I think we bring in this sense of okay, it's fine, it's normal. I think that's perhaps when slowly the mindset will start changing, and I'm so glad that both of you all are trying your bit to do that. But the question is, sometimes they say women are women's own enemies, right? And Manisha, you mentioned in the beginning that you had an ecosystem luckily with you that helped you to raise your family, and of course at the same time to ensure that your career as well continues on the right trajectory. But Manjula, how keen are women as well sort of engaging in this conversation? You have a platform which is precisely dedicated for such women. Have you seen more women approaching your platform and saying that, look, I want to get back to my career? Or do you think there's still some hesitation because for whatever reason that back home maybe the ecosystem is not that strong or not that supportive?
Right now, the women are more welcoming because the more and more the environment is changing. People realize that the value of being financially independent. And when the show like that, what you are just doing is going to throw more lights for people to reflect on the thought process on that. We do see a welcoming change in the women's. Of course, when the women are coming from the little rural, not in urban, their infrastructure and the family support system, etc., is holding back. That is where those places people are looking for work from home for some time to just get back to the work and get the groove of it, what they are just doing. But mindset is changing, both sides, in the men as well as the women. In fact, men are coming to our platform and asking, can you help my wife to just come back to the career? That's a welcoming change, I would say. I'm seeing it last a year now, where lots of mails, a lot of messages, chat boxes, which comes over there saying that my wife needs it. Can you do that? And there are some of the messages where it said, I just want you to just help her without knowing that I called you and then informed you. That's another kind of a thing which we are seeing, that it equally just bringing the men also into the area where they are just focused where to bring the women back to work.
Okay, I've been asked to wrap, but I am going to take the liberty to just take one closing comment, Manisha, from you. You're a woman who did it all. You're an inspiration as well to many, as is Anamika and Manjula as well, trying her best to do that bit to bring women back, with all their creative forces into the workforce. But Manisha, like I mentioned, right, women sometimes feel guilty about leaving things back home and trying to pursue their own path. There's this whole bit of selfishness and what have you that sort of creeps into their mind and sometimes hampers their performance at work as well. What would be your word of advice, your recommendation to all the young women watching today?
So look, guilt has been my constant companion. So I'm a very good advocate of what should be done. But I think, rather than advise the women, I think in contrast to what Manjula said, I think what needs to change is the mindset at home. I think we are taught from such a young age that we are the primary caregiver. We are the ones who have to keep the best home because our moms kept it. We have to bring up the babies in the best way. Their education, etc., has to be the focus. That I think, that puts so much pressure on a woman who is anyway working 24/7. Double that up with the guilt that she has, that it just takes a toll. And unlike Manjula, who said she's seeing these women return, I actually see a lot of women going away despite all the policies you and I, we all discussed, because I think just can't keep up with the pressure at home, pressure at work, and the guilt accompanied with it because of the pressure at home. So my advice to everyone is that, look, if you want your woman to, if the woman you're married and is the woman is the woman you want her to be, the same as when you married her, then please support her career, get rid of these patriarchal mindsets, and help at home. I think my advice is more to the general ecosystem than to the girls, because I think the young girls are phenomenal today. They're really aggressive. They're hungry. They're super achievers. They're, what they want to achieve in 5 years into a career is what I probably thought 20 years into a career. So, just give them the wings and let them fly, and you'll see the results.
Well, Manisha, Anamika, as well as Manjula, thank you not just for joining me on this, this discussion, but also, of course, for being a source of inspiration, for providing the platform, for doing your bit to change, how we perceive women. coming back to their career post motherhood as a whole, and doing your bit to make it easier as well for women in the future. Thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now.
Thanks a lot for
Thank
bringing
you.
us.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye.